It was a big day for U.S. Interior Secretary Ken Salazar, who was on Cape Cod Tuesday to gather first-hand information about the Cape Wind project and concerns over its impact on archaeological materials and local Indian tribes. He spent nearly 4 hours aboard the Coast Guard buoy tender Ida Lewis on a tour of the site in Nantucket Sound, where Cape Wind Associates wants to build 130 wind turbines. Salazar called his visit a fact-finding mission and an opportunity to visit members of both the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe and Wampanoag tribe of Gayhead Aquina. One of the most important stops was the meteorological data tower Cape Wind built.
That tower was constructed in 2003, and it was actually permitted by the Corps of Engineers. And since it was constructed back in 2003, it's been collecting data, primarily atmospheric data, wind data, barometric pressure. And based on the readings that they've gathered over the years, they've determined that average wind speeds are roughly about 19 miles per hour.
Cape Wind says that the wind in the area can produce the equivalent of 75% of the electricity used on Cape Cod and is a critical step forward in the fight against climate change. Opponents of the project argue that it will increase electricity rates, be a danger to navigation and air travel, and injure wildlife in the area. The tribes contend that their people once lived in the land submerged beneath the sound, and that the turbines would interfere with their view of the rising sun, an important piece of their spiritual lives. Chris Harrell, a marine archaeologist with the Minerals Management Service, explained his role.
We've also been involved again in collecting information about the area so that submerged archaeological resources, shipwrecks, and other things in the area will not be impacted during the construction of a proposed project. And that's primarily what my responsibility has been, is to facilitate conversation with the tribes, but also to ensure that historic properties on the seafloor are not in danger of being destroyed during construction or operation of this project.
There are really three fundamental issues that we are addressing here in this effort with respect to the analysis of the application by Cape Wind. The first is the President and the Department of Interior have made renewable energy one of the imperatives of our country. And we do that in the name of energy independence, in the name of combating climate change and global warming, and also in terms of creating jobs here in America. We also have another imperative in Interior, and that's protecting the history of America. I am the Chief Historian as Secretary of Interior of the cultural history of the United States. And third, we have a very important responsibility, which is as equal to the others, and that is making sure that we are respecting the tribes of America and that we're having a government-to-government relationship with all of them. And so it's all of those factors that lead us to take this application that is now pending before the Department of Interior as seriously as we are taking it.